Senator Schumer's answer, I do appreciate his doing the Mr. Bird's tent with his hands. I wish he'd started off with excellent.
On day 38 of the government shutdown, Senator Ted Cruz took to the Senate floor to mock Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, comparing him to the Simpsons character Mr. Burns. Cruz went on to argue that the shutdown is disrupting flights across the country because air traffic controllers aren't getting paid.
There are right now more than 14,000 air traffic controllers. Many of them are going to work. None of them are getting paid. That means they're trying to figure out, their last paycheck didn't come, they're trying to figure out, how do I pay my mortgage? How do I pay my rent? How do I pay my food? How do I feed my kids? How do I take care of medical bills? You know what the answer from the Democrats is? Every day gets better for us. If you're hurting and not getting a paycheck, Senator Schumer's answer, I do appreciate his doing the Mr. Bird's tent with his hands. I wish he'd started off with excellent. But that is, in fact, his quote, every day gets better for us. On Wednesday, there were over 15,000 flight delays. On Wednesday, there were over 600 canceled flights. Delta Airlines has called on the Democrats, vote to reopen the government. United Airlines has called on the Democrats, vote to reopen the government. Southwest Airlines has called on the Democrats, vote to reopen the government. American Airlines has called on the Democrats, vote to reopen the government. The National Air Traffic Controllers Association has called on the Democrats, vote to reopen the government. Yesterday, I had a conversation with the administrator of the FAA. It was chilling. As everyone knows, the FAA announced that it is putting in place a mandatory 10% reduction in flights in the 40 largest airports in America. What the administrator of the FAA told me yesterday on the phone was why. And here's what Administrator Bedford said. He said, last Friday, which was Halloween, half of the busiest 30 air traffic control facilities were short-staffed.
For more congressional news, stay tuned to Congress Clips, and thanks for watching.